Linear equations are great when they are in standard form, but they're even better in what we call slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go ahead and take this equation that's written in standard form and change it into this slope-intercept form that we talk about. Slope-intercept form is always in the form of y is equal to mx plus b. So notice here I have y isolated on one side of the equation. Remember that y is our dependent variable. It's going to depend on what the value of x is. So I'm just going to do this in one simple step, and that is subtract 3x from both sides of my equation. And y is equal to negative 3x plus 4 is in slope-intercept form. It is written in the form of y equals mx plus b. So if you recall, this means that negative 3 is the value of m. What does m represent? Because we call this slope-intercept form, m is the slope of the linear equation. And b, in this case 4, is the y-intercept of this equation. Y is equal to negative 3x plus 4. So if I'm looking at the graph of this linear equation, y equals negative 3x plus 4, let's take out our handy graph paper, and let's give it a y-axis and an x-axis. Sure, we can graph this like we did in the last section by finding the x and y intercept, but rather we can graph this based on our slope and our y-intercept. Remember, in this case, our y-intercept is 4. So I'm going to come up here on the y-axis and plot the point 0, 4. And since 2 points determine a line, all I have to do is find the other point. So let's talk about this slope. If your slope, in this case, is negative 3, we always want to think of slope as a fraction. Think of slope as a fraction because it's going to determine our rise over our run. So how am I going to write negative 3 as a fraction? I'm just going to very simply change it to negative 3 over 1. So rise over run means that every point that's on the line of this equation can be found by rising negative 3 and running 1. So I'm going to find the next point on this line by, you say, rise a negative 3. So I'm going to go down 3 and run 1. So the relationship between 2 points is found by going down 3 and over 1. And every point that's on this line can be found by going down 3 and over 1. To help give me a very nice linear equation. And that is how you can graph a linear equation from the slope-intercept form.